In this video, I'm going to teach you how to make a bowl out of rope. Stay tuned to the end where I show you how to use scrap fabric to decorate your bowl. Hi guys, I'm Alexa, author of Sewing for Kids, and this is my channel, Alexa Teach Me How to Sew. The goal is to teach you how to sew while making cute and trendy projects. If you're interested in that, please like and subscribe. First, start by gathering your materials. You're going to need 100% cotton clothesline rope, a sewing machine and thread, a pair of scissors, and some scrap fabric, which is optional if you decide to add a little extra color. I've linked everything, including the rope I used, in the description box below. Start by cutting the amount of rope that you want to work with. Anywhere 15 feet or less is going to be a good starting point, and I've cut my rope for this project to be 10 yards. Start by setting up your machine. Turn it on and set it to a zigzag stitch. You're going to want to use a wide zigzag. I like anywhere between a 4.0 and a 5.5 width, and the length I like it to be somewhere between 1.8 and 2.0. Start by coiling a little bit of rope first. About an inch of this would be good. Put that first coil into your sewing machine and lower the presser foot. We're going to start by sewing an X back and forth over these coils. So I'm starting on one end. I'm going to go to the other end of the circle we created. Back stitch to the center. Pivot and go in the other direction, creating an X. Back stitch. Take out your circle and cut your thread. Now we're really going to get started. You're going to put what we started at back into your sewing machine, this time making sure the rope is coming out of the right side and the coils are off to the left side. Start at the beginning, and we're going to start sewing our zigzag all the way around. We want our zigzag to catch on one side of the rope and then the other side of the rope. I put my needle down and I slowly start pivoting my rope as I'm sewing. At the beginning, you might have to lift up your needle a bunch as you're pivoting and stopping and going. But as you continue, it's going to get much easier. Unwrap your rope a few times. Once you get past this beginning point, you're going to notice that it's going to get much easier. You're going to control the disc with your left hand and the rope that's feeding in with your right hand, keeping them close together. So I'm pushing the disc in with my left hand and I'm pulling the rope over with my right hand so that I'm keeping them connected, and my needle's going back and forth between both sides of the rope. And that's what's connecting my rope together. Continue going around and around until you get to a point where you want to start turning the corner and creating the bowl shape. When you reach a place where you want to start turning, simply push the disc upwards as you continue to sew. This will create the curved shape in the bowl. Untwisting your rope as you go. If you make a mistake and miss the rope at some point and you notice right away, like this, lift up your needle, go back to right before the mistake, put your presser foot back down, and just continue. No one's going to notice that extra bit of stitching with all the stitches that are going on here. And continue until you get to the end. When you get close to the end, you're going to stop. I have about 3 inches of rope left. Lift up my presser foot and tuck my tail all the way under there. And now I'm going to attach the tail that's tucked around to the actual part of the bowl still. The same way with the zigzag stitches. I go all the way to the curved part of my tail and back stitch. Back to the start of the tail. Connect the top part of the tail to the top part of the loop. Back stitch this and take it out. You can cut any loose threads now. And you're done. It is beautiful. I love this red. You can see right at the end, I completely ran out of top thread from making my bobbin. So I ended up using white thread to finish out the inside, but the outside is all red. Want to see how to add a little bit of scrap fabric to decorate your bowl a little bit? If you'd like to add strips of color to your bowl, take some scrap fabrics and cut them into 1 to 1.5 inch strips. When you get to a point where you want to add a strip, stop sewing, keeping the needle in the rope so that it holds its place. Wrap your fabric around a few times and then continue to sew as before. sewing over this fabric, and then pull the fabric as far down as you can each time you wrap. Finish sewing this spot. Love that look. A few extra tips for you. Make sure that when you get started that you have a full bobbin, and continuously check as you're sewing that your bobbin hasn't run out yet. Not sure what color you want to use with your thread? You can even switch your thread color halfway through and get a different two-toned look. For size reference, this bowl is 10 yards of rope, which is 30 feet, and this bowl is 5 yards of rope, which is 15 feet. If you don't feel like buying rope and you have a ton of leftover fabrics, you can rip them into strips and braid them and sew them together with the same technique. You can dye the rope before you sew with it. One last tip is when I get started and I do that X in the beginning, I like to use a matching thread to my rope so you don't see it. So here you can't actually see my X because it matches really well. Here you can, and it's just a little messy. Thank you for watching my video on rope bowls. I hope you enjoyed it and have so much fun making these because this is one of my favorite projects. I would love to hear from you, so please leave your comments below and make sure to subscribe and like.